Hello everybody and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today I'm going to be doing a Blu-ray 4K Steelbook DVD update collection video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I have a ton of new stuff that I have either picked up myself or that have been graciously sent to me by various studios, and so I want to make sure that I'm able to cover all of the videos and all of the movies that I have been sent. Many of these films I have not been able to check out myself, but I just wanted to be able to share them with you so that way you knew that they were available and also that they are available to purchase. There are a couple of the films that I actually have seen and have actually been able to look at the transfers as far as some of the 4K titles, which are some films available for the first time on 4K, and so I'll be able to talk a little bit about those, but especially towards when I get towards the end of the video, or more so towards the kind of last stack. I literally have a giant stack of films all on this chair right next to me. I'll try and go through them a little bit more quickly just because I, again, have so many of them. I've gotten so backed up on them. But again, shout out to MVD Visual and Arrow Video for sending these out to me, as this is the vast majority of the films that I have been sent. Before we go any further, though, please make sure you smash that like button, light up that fire button if you're watching over on Odyssey, and also smash the rumble button if you're watching over there. Also make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that way you know every time a new video or live stream goes live on the channel by hitting that bell notification. So the first thing I will share is a film that I actually picked up for Black Friday, or one of the Black Friday deals. It was one of the deals that was out for like 2 weeks prior, because this Black Friday was very weird. A lot of the deals went on early, went live like 2 weeks early, and on the actual day itself, very few films actually became on sale. But there were a couple, I think, of more legacy titles or older films that I think went on sale for about $10 on 4K. There were a lot of $10 4K movies, but one of the films that's not nearly as old, but is still probably one of my favorite films, especially I think it's become a lot more relevant in more recent years, is one that I just had to pick up for $10 on 4K, and that was the film Gattaca. So this is a film that I was able to pick up in the Black Friday deal. So again, this one, I don't know necessarily if it's still on sale anywhere, but again, Gattaca on 4K, very happy to have this film. If you've never seen this before, it is a pretty interesting film because it deals specifically with genetic modification in a world essentially where the people that are able to and are allowed to survive and function are all genetically superior, but every now and then there are basically children that get through, basically that they have some genetic defect in some way, right? Maybe it's that they have asthma, or maybe it's that they have something else, and so therefore they are viewed as less than and cannot engage in various other elements of society because of that very reason. And I think that we're kind of seeing some elements of that in our own modern day and age, and so I think it's a very timely film, especially, and it's starring Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman, Jude Law, and it's a really, really well done film. So definitely would recommend, even if it's not necessarily on sale for $10, I think it's a really good film to pick up nonetheless. Another film that I was able to pick up because I was going out shopping, trying to find some 4K Steelbooks to do giveaways for. By the way, if you want access to some 4K Steelbook giveaways, if you follow me over on Locals, Patreon, Subscribestar, you get access to giveaways over there. Right now, I have a current live giveaway where I have got a ton of 4K Steelbooks available for giveaway, and one of them actually is a copy of this film, which is Total Recall on 4K Steelbook. And this is one where initially I wasn't planning on getting it, but I was trying to look around and see what 4K Steelbooks were actually available, because if anyone's been to a Best Buy recently, you know that they're kind of very limited on their stock and on their supply, as the market has just really shrunk in a very severe way, especially with everything going on with COVID. But this, of course, is a really, really cool film. It is especially innovative when it comes to the visual effects, the practical effects that they were able to integrate into the movie, I think, are just phenomenal. And it is a really good 4K transfer here, as most films that are transferred from, when they get transferred from actual film reels themselves, look pretty darn good. And this comes with the 4K, also comes with the Blu-ray, also comes with a lot of special features as well. But it also comes with something that I'm hoping and praying Best Buy please continue to do this. It also comes with this slipcover here, which is a clear slipcover. But hey, it is a clear plastic slipcover, so it offers protection for the steelbooks, which again have always looked really good. But having this as an actual very sturdy, instead of just the paper, like the flimsy little paper, or even worse, the flimsy, like not even cover for it, right, where it's on the back and it has the information, and then typically you just throw it away. This, though, is a lot more practical because, one, it offers some protection for the actual steelbook itself, and then it has all the information, so you don't have to worry about actually throwing it away. And it's been a trend that I have seen on a lot of the recent releases from Best Buy. So I really hope they continue this going forward because they look fantastic. One of the films that they didn't do that for, but again, I don't know if it just kind of missed the mark or not, is Inglourious Basterds on 4K Steelbook. I've heard some mixed things about the 4K transfer of this film. As you all know, I'm a pretty big fan of Jeff from Films at Home, who I think is a really good YouTube channel and does a lot of really great coverage of physical media, especially as far as news on physical media. And he had some issues with the transfer of the film. Not to say that it looked garbage, but essentially that there was definitely some playing around that happened in the transfer process where it was, kind of clear that Tarantino did not really have his hands fully on this specific project, and that instead it was just done by the studio, by Universal. So again, I don't really know whether or not that is something that is necessarily going to impact a lot of people, because apparently there are forums out there that disagree with his assessment and with his take. All I can say is that Inglourious Basterds is a great Quentin Tarantino film, and I'm very happy to see a lot of his films being transferred now over to 4K for the first time. And I'm really hoping, especially, that he is able to get involved in the process of those transfers, because if anyone knows film, it is Tarantino, and I would love to see him get involved with a company like Criterion or with a company even like Arrow Video, to be able to really offer the best transfers possible, but also a ton of special features, because Tarantino obviously is going to have a very limited filmography as he plans to retire after his next movie. We'll see exactly how true to his word he stands on that. But again, there's just a lot of respect that I have for him as a filmmaker, and that's probably one of my all-time favorite Tarantino movies. The last of the films that I was able to pick up before going into the films that have been sent to me is Citizen Kane on 4K. So this is indeed a Criterion release. It's one of the first ever 4K releases on Criterion, and of course, in one of their first 4K releases for Criterion, they ended up screwing things up. So basically, one of the Blu-ray disc of the film, so the 4K is fine, the extra Blu-ray disc is fine, but the Blu-ray version of the film, apparently the color grading just changes at one point, and so they didn't do any quality checks on that. And basically, they're telling people to send pictures, Criterion saying to send pictures of the disc broken, or to mail them the disc back, and they will replace it. So it's nice of them to replace the disc, but still you got to go through the hassle of doing that. And also, I think that this film, even though it does look pretty good, again, probably one of the best ways in which one of the best transfers that we've seen of Citizen Kane itself. Really, there is only so much that you can do with a film like this that has not been preserved very well over time, whether it's the audio track or the visual track. There's a lot of just imperfections that, because of time and because of poor preservation, just really can't be addressed or fixed. So if you're a big fan of Citizen Kane, I think it's worth picking up, but just keep that in mind that you are going to have that issue with the overall release. The other issue I have with this is actually within the packaging itself, because it's this, you would think is a pretty clever fold out, right? So it's the K, the A, and then it's, spells out Kane, right? And it opens up like this. But this is just, again, kind of just a bit of a mess. And then what's worse is that it uses the darn sleeves. So basically, it means that there's a very good chance of you actually scratching your discs. And for anyone that collects that collects physical media, that the last thing that you want to be doing is scratching any of these discs, because once they are scratched, it's pretty much game over, man. So, which is the typical reason why I digitize my entire collection and put them onto my NAS server, which I use with Plex, and basically have my own personal Netflix, which I again recommend for anyone out there, because obviously physical media is just never going to be able to be replicated by any of the streaming services. Like this, the quality is never going to be able to truly be the same. That being said, there is that convenience factor, and so to me, the way to get the best of both worlds is to just actually do your own digitization of the product, and then you don't lose any quality on it, and you're able to have a pretty good time with it. So those are the films that I have picked up myself, and I'm very excited for. Let's go into the films that I have been sent. And so the one that I think I'm most excited about is one that I was sent a while ago. It is now available. I was actually able to pick up several copies. I've got 4 copies of this actually to give away, but it is probably one of the best Akira Kurosawa films of all time. This was a connection with Lionsgate and also a Studio Canal who have the rights to this film, and that is the 1980s film Ron. This is, again, a beautiful steelbook put out by Best Buy in conjunction with Lionsgate as far as the distribution. Comes with Dolby Vision, and it is a very well done transfer. What I really like about it is, of course, slipcover. I mean, just look at this artwork. The artwork alone, I think, is just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. With this disc, of course, you get the actual 4K, you get the Blu-ray, you get a digital copy code as well. But again, one of the cool things you can do with these slip covers, again, not only are they sturdy, but then also you have the red eyes there, and those come through with the outside cover. So you can actually play around with these outside covers and actually have a lot of really good stuff. The other thing I love about this this release is that they do have a special feature where they go through the transfer. They go through the restoration of the film. They go through the color grading, why they did some of the choices that they did, why they wanted to make the colors pop on whether it's the kimonos that are being worn or whether it is some of the other just really colorful aspects of the movie itself. And Kurosawa is notorious for his really well-made black and white films, but this film looks phenomenal with all the color grading they were able to do on that film. So Ron available, 4K Steelbook. Highly recommend it. You then also have the T2. So again, shout out to Lionsgate for that one. Another shout out to Lionsgate here, and also in conjunction with Studio Canal, is we got T2 on 4K Steelbook. Now I will say, as far as releases are concerned, there really isn't anything new on this release. So if you already have a 4K edition of the film, you're getting essentially the same 4K transfer that you had. But if you either don't have it or if you really like Steelbook Collections, I will say I think it is a pretty good Steelbook. Again, you've got this awesome plastic slipcover. Really hope that they keep that. And then, of course, you get the T1000 release, or rather reveal there. Just, again, look absolutely freaking fantastic. And also what's really interesting about this specific release is you actually get a ton of special features here. You get several cuts of the film, actually. So you get the happy ending version. You get the one with the, you get the same ending with a couple of different versions too. But yeah, you get 3 different versions of the actual movie. And obviously it'd be great if we could get a better transfer here with James Cameron actually working on it. But since he's in Avatar land, probably won't actually happen. But again, shout out to Lionsgate for T2, Terminator 2 on 4K. Again, if you don't have it yet, I would definitely recommend it. I believe that this is one that was on sale for like $20 or less, which I think is well worth it if you're a Terminator fan. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of opinions on what is the best version of the film as far as the actual transfer is concerned. Another film that there's a lot of opinions on as far as what version of the film to get actually now has another version, and that is Apocalypse Now. So this is another shout out to Lionsgate. Lionsgate's always been very kind to me by sending me these releases to talk about. So this, again, is Apocalypse Now, obviously a very well-known movie by Francis Ford Coppola. This is another cut of the film. So this is Apocalypse Now final cut. So obviously we've got the Redux, we've got the theatrical cut, we've got so many other versions of this film, I feel like, and this is supposed to be the end, the actual absolute final cut. So it cuts it down a little bit more to be closer to about 3 hours in length. And so I can say that the transfer looks pretty darn good. You only get the one version of the film, though. Be kind of cool if this release was able to have like all of those sets together. But obviously that would then increase the price on it a little bit. But this is the final cut, the vision of Francis Ford Coppola. This also features a special intro done by Francis Ford Coppola as well. Though I will say that for that one, I don't really think that it's all that special. So if you're looking for special features, not really getting a whole lot new here other than that intro, but it is a new cut of the film. And again, I do love these 4K steelbooks. Again, I think that the artwork also on this one just looks phenomenal. So that is also available. So one that was I was just sent a little recently, actually, and I shared this on Instagram and social media, was actually sent to me via Nickelodeon, via Paramount, and that is this new box set. So this is a brand new release here, and this is the complete series of Avatar and the Legend of Korra. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, Avatar Last Airbender is a phenomenal show, Legend of Korra, not so much. And again, obviously there's going to be a lot of opinions on that. But that being said, this is a first time that Avatar: The Last Airbender has been available on Blu-ray, and I believe this might be one of the only ways to get it on Blu-ray. And so I will say is that it's a pretty good transfer. You get the 9-disc set, which I'm still actually digitizing as we speak. You also get in this release some bonus discs and art cards as well. I think that I just actually really love the artwork on this release. But anyway, you get a bonus disc there and also some art cards of the actual series and of the actual show. So I think that's also pretty cool. I do always love releases when they give you these extra little things because it just makes it a little bit more special. So again, shout out to Paramount for sending this my way. I've actually never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I cannot wait to get these uploaded to the Plex server and actually start to watch it. And maybe I'll give Legend of Korra a try as well. All right, some other films that I have been sent. First off is The Colony. This is a film that I still need to see. It's been backed up on the server. It seems pretty interesting, though obviously it could potentially have some issues. It says, in this riveting sci-fi thriller from executive producer Roland Emmerich, Earth has been decimated by climate change, pandemics, and war. As you can see, a little too close to home there. Years after the ruling elite escaped to another planet, a mission was launched to find out if a return to an uninhabitable Earth was possible. That mission was lost. Now, a lone astronaut in search of answers struggles to survive the hostile planet. She must ultimately make a choice that will seal the fate of the wasteland's remaining populace. So this looks actually pretty interesting. This is, again, shout out to Lionsgate for sending this. I saw the the basic premise of it, and I kind of looked past that first bit, and I said, you know what, I think there's enough here to kind of just keep me generally interested in the actual story itself. This does also star Ian Glenn, who is someone that some people might remember from Game of Thrones. So I actually really like him as an actor. So that is actually the other reason why this intrigued me a bit. Also, it's a sci-fi movie, and I know that I'm a big fan of sci-fi. My wife's a big fan of sci-fi, so I figured that would be pretty good. Let's see, another film here we have from, just want to make sure I get this, is Blumhouse and also Universal Pictures. So shout out to Universal Pictures on the Forever Purge. There's been so many of these Purge films. I've never seen a Purge film. I do plan to see this at one point, but this is a film that came out this past year. Apparently, Eric Eisner of Cinnamon Blend says it's one of the best Purge movies yet. One night is not enough, as members of an underground movement, no longer satisfied with the annual night of anarchy and murder, decide to overtake America through an unending campaign of mayhem and massacre. No one is safe. So again, you get here the actual slipcover, if it's still available, but it does come with the Blu-ray disc, a DVD copy, and a digital copy code as well. And the last of the major releases before getting into the giant haul from Arrow Video and MVD Visual is really the least of the entire bunch, I will say, and that is Snake Eyes. On 4K. So I do want to shout out Paramount. I do want to shout them out for sending me a copy of this film. This is the only way that I think I will ever watch this movie, is the fact that it has been sent to me. Obviously, one of the biggest issues is that it's a movie about a character whose whole thing is that you don't really know much about him and he doesn't speak. And this movie has him speaking and finding out more about his character. So, obviously, a lot of fans then were pretty mad because of that very reason. But anyway, you can get this on 4K if you want. It comes with the 4K and the digital copy, so no Blu-ray copy code with that one. All right, so let's go ahead then and start to dive into this massive haul that I have from Arrow Video and MVD Visual. And so the first one I want to talk about is actually pretty cool. So before Criterion got involved in the 4K game, Arrow Video started to get into the 4K game. So I got a 4K copy of Tremors. I got a 4K copy of the original Dune film. And now a film that I've actually really been interested in checking out. I had a really great podcast episode actually with a former student who had graduated a couple years ago. And one of the things that he wanted to talk about, one of the things that I had promised him when he was a student, was like, I want to do a podcast with you. He was like, okay, once you graduate, contact me. We'll see what's going on. And he actually is a big horror movie fan. And so we actually ended up having a conversation because he wrote a paper. One of the final things that he did before he graduated was he actually wrote a paper about horror films, comparing the original versions of horror films to modern remakes and kind of like the politics and the political messaging of each of them. And one of the films that came up was The Hills Have Eyes. And so I actually have now on 4K, and this is available for people to be able to purchase, The Hills Have Eyes on 4K, with HDR. So again, this is the Wes Craven version. It says horror master Wes Craven achieved critical and commercial success with the likes of Scream and A Nightmare on Elm Street, but for many genre fans, the director's seminal 1977 effort, The Hills Have Eyes, remain his masterpiece. So this features a brand new 4K restoration of the film, viewable with both original and alternate endings, 4K UHD presentation, original lossless mono audio, optional lossless 2.0 and 7.0 remixes, original ending only. So again, one of the reasons why I always appreciate Arrow Video is that they obviously have sometimes a little bit more obscure film choices. This is definitely one of the more mainstream ones that I've seen from them, but they always just put so much effort into their releases. And so I cannot wait. This is one that came in actually just the other day. So I cannot wait to be able to digitize this and put it into the library to check this out. But also, if you look at the back, I mean, these are all the special features that this thing features. So you have all of that. There's a limited edition 40-page booklet featuring writing on the film by critic Brad Stevens, consideration of the Hills franchise by Arrow producer, illustrated and original archive stills and posters. You got audio commentaries on here by tons of different people. You also have tons of interviews, image galleries, original screenplay, and again, tons of other stuff in here. It also comes with a reversible poster. Again, you can get on these special editions. So if you're a fan of Wes Craven, if you're a fan of the original The Hills Have Eyes, it's now available on 4K for you to purchase. Something else that's available on 4K, again, another film that I have never seen before, but I've obviously heard a lot of things about, also available now on 4K, and that is Children of the Corn. Just looks darn right creepy, and again, I'm actually interested to check this check this film out. Also, had no idea that Linda Hamilton was in this. I was watching through some of the clips to look at the quality of it, and obviously it's a very good transfer. Arrow Video always does really good jobs with their transfers, and yeah, did not know that she was in this, so I'm interested actually to check this out, though I'm definitely hesitant because it definitely looks incredibly creepy, but just like with other Arrow Video releases, tons of special features on that one as well. This is one where I don't remember if I had talked about this or not, but this is one also sent by Arrow Video, and this is Tom Cruise in a Ridley Scott film's Legend. So this is the special edition set here. So this is the Blu-ray, limited edition Blu-ray here. So you'll get not just the movie, but you also get the booklet and also poster of the film as well. It has the theatrical cut and the director's cut on here. So audio commentary by Ridley Scott himself. Tons of other special features, including an archive documentary from 2002 and other things on here. So again, if you are a fan of Ridley Scott or a fan of this film, you get both the theatrical and the director's cut, plus tons of special features on that release. Something else from Arrow Video, one that I don't know much about. Snake Girl and the Silver-Haired Witch, available from Arrow Video here. This is what do you get when you get Norikai Yuasa's, director of Dai Studios' much beloved Gamera series, makes a monochrome film adaptation of the works of horror manga pioneer Umezo, who did The Drifting Classroom. The answer is 1968's film, the fantastically phantasmagorical slice of twisted, and then there's a stamp on there that I can't quite read. But anyway, this is available on Blu-ray now for people who are fans of that genre. We have another Arrow Video release here. It's the Giallo Essentials, which features films like The Possessed, The Fifth Chord, and The Pajama Girl Case. It says here, in this first of multi-volume series of the Giallo Essentials, these films feature a raft of talent in front and behind the camera, with each film restored from original camera negatives, presented with a range of contextualizing interviews and featurettes. So again, if you are a fan of the Giallo filmmaker, then this might be a set for you. And again, there's multiple sets here. I'd actually have another one in this pile, which I will get to in a little bit. All right. As I said, I got a lot of these. Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge, now also available from, this is also Arrow Video. This is their special edition set, so it has the little booklet and also poster. It says here, a year after her boyfriend Eric burns to death in a mysterious fire, Melody vows to put her traumatic past behind her, but the past isn't ready to let Melody go. When Melody and her friends get jobs at the new mall, haunting reminders and inexplicable events begin to occur. So again, this is, there was a nightmare at the mall, Eric the Phantom struck, it says here. So again, people fans of the genre, That is now available on Blu-ray from them. And I have now 2 DVDs in this end of the first stack. I've got 2 other stacks after this. So first DVD is Through the Shadow, based on the novel The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. I've actually heard of The Turn of the Screw. I believe that's actually a story that is being read by some students. So based on the novel, it says set in 1930s Brazil, Laura is a nanny hired to look after 2 orphan children to live on the uncle's coffee plantation remote estate haunted by malevolent spirits. She investigates the history of the family. She discovers she becomes the victim of a diabolical plot. Interesting there. So Through the Shadow, available on DVD, and this is going to be through MVD Visual. And another one through them is a film here just called Lust. Famous crime writer becomes a victim after a crazed fan brutally attacks her. So again, this is available on DVD. All right, let's get to this other stack here. We got Death Screams from Arrow Video featuring a severed head. It says at midnight, all you will hear are death screams. So again, definitely a genre film here. So again, this is now available on Blu-ray from Arrow Video. Another 4K release from Arrow Video, the Cat O' Nine Tails. This is the special edition 4K set. This comes with the booklet and also with the poster. Again, I always love their releases here. It says, following the success of his debut feature, The Bird and the Crystal Plumage, distributor Titanis tasked writer-director Dario Argento with delivering a follow-up in short order. The resulting film granted a greatly enhanced budget and heralded in the U.S. marketing campaign as Nine Tails more suspenseful than its predecessor was Cat O' Nine Tails. It says here, when a break-in occurs at a secretive genetics institute, blind puzzle maker Franco Arno, who overheard an attempt to blackmail one of the institute's scientists shortly before the robbery, teams up with the intrepid reporter Carlo Giordani to crack the case. So, again, interesting here. New 4K restoration from the original negative here. So you can, again, guaranteed tons of special features here. If you've ever heard of this film or that sounds interesting to you, that is available on 4K. All right, another set here is the Daimajin trilogy. The Daimajin series. The ancient god Daimajin rises. It is Dai's Kyoto Studios bringing its own iconic movie monster to life in a unique but short-lived series that translates the Golem legend to Japan's Warring States period of the late 16th century. You all know I'm pretty much a big fan of films that feature that. But this features, again, the 3 films here in Blu-ray format. So again, of new transfers, also original lossless Japanese. And there is, of course, a dubbed mono track as well. But you all know how I feel about dubbed tracks. But again, very awesome looking set here from Arrow Video. And again, obviously tons of special features there too. All right, let me grab a few more of these. All right, so Blu-ray here, we have Harry and Snowman. Heartwarming and captivating. Dutch immigrant Harry Delayer journeyed to the United States after World War II and developed a transformative relationship with a broken-down Amish plow horse. And turns it into... looks like it turns it into a winning horse here. So one thing MVD Visual is always really good for are interesting either documentaries or just stories based off of real events. So again, always very good with their transfers as well. So MVD Visual, if that is something that is interesting to you. Also, we have a Blu-ray audio CD, Engelbert, Humperdinck, totally amazing. So anyone who's a fan of Engelbert, that is available on Blu-ray. Also, from the MVD Visual Rewind Collection, One Dark Night, a shocking tale of horror that takes you far beyond fear. There you go. So again, this is a rewind series that they do where they bring in some older films that, again, just never really got a whole lot of attention, and they do Blu-ray transfers for them. And again, I love what they're doing there because there's some great films or cult classics or ones that just deserve a little bit more of attention that they are able to give proper Blu-ray transfers to and let more people to actually know about. We got a Blu-ray audio CD of Escape from Area 51. So this looks like a little like a newer film here from MVD Visual. Apparently it stars here a Baywatch star. So again, some people. We also have another Arrow Video release featuring Dan Aykroyd and Kim Basinger in My Stepmom is an Alien. Well, that cast has me interested here. When widowed astronomer Steve Mills inadvertently causes a gravitational disruption in deep space, a race of hyper-advanced alien life forms sends one of their own to investigate, disguised in the alluring human form of Celeste. So please let me know. Also, it looks like here you have a young Allison Hannigan playing the daughter. Look at that. That is Allison Hannigan. What do you know? Okay, very nice. Put that one over there. All right. This is the other of the Giallo Essentials series from Arrow Video. So this features what have they done to your daughters, strip nude for your killer, and torso. It says from cult Italian genre directors Massimo Dallamano, Sergio Martino, and Andrea Bianchi. Packed with suspense and intrigue, these unmissable examples of the Giallo thriller are presented in stunning 2K restorations. So again, this goes along with that other set. Another set here is He Came from the Swamp, the William Greff collection, and this features Whiskey Mountain, They Came from the Swamp, The Naked Zoo, Mako, Jaws of Death, The Hook Generation, The Psychedelic Priest, Sting of Death, Death Curse of Tartu. So again, all of these available on Blu-ray. This from Arrow Video. So again, you get all of those films. So ton of films here, plus obviously tons of behind-the-scenes special features as well. So if those are the films that you are into, that is now available. Let's go ahead and try and finish up this stack here. So another 4K release. Again, really awesome to see Arrow Video getting into this. It's called Deep Red. So Deep Red Special Edition available on 4K. So again, one where you get the booklet and the poster. This is from Dario Argento, who had done The Bird and the Crystal Plumage and also Cat o' Nine Tails there. It says here, one night, musician Marcus Daly, looking up at the street below, witnessing the brutal axe murder of a woman in her apartment. Racing to the scene, Marcus just manages to miss the perpetrator, or does he? As he takes on the role of amateur sleuth, Marcus finds himself ensnared in a bizarre web of murder and mystery where nothing is as it seems. So again, brand new 4K restoration with tons of special features. Deep Red on 4K. Some more from MVD Visual. We got Chariots of the Gods from Eric von Donickens. Did travelers from outer space visit Earth in our ancient past? So any Ancient Aliens fans in here? This is from MVD Visual, so a documentary. Here's a 2K restoration of the original 35mm. So this is an older documentary from 1970. Wow, okay. So long before History Channel decided to dive into this, turns out 1970. That's interesting. I love that. We got an action double feature featuring Scott Adkins. Obviously, he got started off as a stuntman and since has gone on to actually star in some features. So this features his movies Close Range and Savage Dog on Blu-ray. So again, MVD Visual putting these films out on Blu-ray for people to check out. So anyone who's fans of stunts, especially actors who are, former stunt people, always going to be a little bit more trustworthy in my own opinion. Let's see. You have An American in Paris, the musical. This is the original London company. So any fans of American in Paris, obviously Gene Kelly film classic, but this is the actual filmed version of the play or of the musical specifically, featuring the London company cast. So again, they typically put those out every now and then. You also have this 4 classic westerns, Vengeance Trails. Looks like you're featuring directors here by Lucio Fulci, Maurizio Lucidi, Massimo Dallamano, Antonio Margaretti. It says here, and God said to Cain, Bandidos, my name is Pecos, and Massacre Time, as well as a book and a poster. So again, another great massive set here from Arrow Video with, again, tons of special features and first time ever. Again, Blu-rays based on the 2K transfers typically. So again, lots of stuff there. And then we've been talking about him a lot, but this is also available on 4K for the first time. This is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. So again, yet another Dario Argento in 1970. This was his first time director. Again, this is what made his mark on Italian cinema. So there's a new 4K restoration for the original film negative, and also features a ton of special features as well. So again, Arrow Video putting out these 4K releases. And again, it's amazing. Arrow Video, much more of a boutique specialty location company, putting out more 4Ks more often and usually putting a lot more effort and putting tons of extra stuff into it. Probably much better than what Criterion is doing. And Criterion is often known for their films. So Criterion might have access to, I think, more well-known films, but I believe that Arrow Video, if you're really looking for good transfers of films, or if any of these films just genuinely sound interesting to you, I just don't think you can go wrong with Arrow Video. All right. And going now into the last of the stacks. All right, we got an Eric Stoltz film with Annabella Sciorra, Mr. Jealousy, filmed by Noah Baumbach. So I guess that'd be a young Noah Baumbach, because I know of some of his more recent ones. Yeah, The Squid and the Whale, and he also did Marriage Story as well. So Eric Stoltz, who played a philosophical bartender, lifelong student for director Noah Baumbach, kicking streaming returns in Baumbach's sophomore feature, Mr. Jealousy. An aspiring novelist, Lester exhibits obsessive behavior when girlfriend mentions a previous relationship with well-known writer, which sends Lester into a spiral of obsessive behavior. Actually, it sounds pretty interesting there. So again, Mr. Jealousy from MVD Visual. You also have Charlie Tayan, in a film called Junk Bus. So this is an actor who should look familiar, Stranger Things there. It says, Michael is a recent graduate whose post-college plans derailed when his girlfriend leaves him for a job in New York. When the bus service hires a security guard to watch over the night shift, Michael comes face with a tattooed face with pineapple, a 300-pound punk rock Samoan. Oh, boy. And this is Funny or Die, apparently, with MVD Visual. Let's see. Elstree, 1976, filmed by John Spira. So any of my Star Wars fans might be interested in this. It says it's a feature-length documentary that looks at the lives of the people behind the masks, beneath the helmets, seen the original Star Wars. Over the summer of 1976, a wide array of American, British actors, nearly an inexhaustible supply of film extras, donned crazy costumes and headgear to populate what the world became. So this is going in the behind-the-scenes, essentially, of who those people in those costumes were. So again, documentary there. Also, for any wrestling fans, these are available. So I've got 2 copies of this because I believe there was a mistake on one of the discs. But there's a biography series, Volume 1, Legends on DVD. This features behind the scenes going into, or rather, it's an A&E in conjunction with WWE. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roddy Piper, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Booker T. So you get a biography series featuring those wrestlers. And then in Volume 2, you get Shawn Michaels, Ultimate Warrior, Mick Foley, and Bret the Hitman Hart available there as well. All right, another Arrow video release here, Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. So this is a Blu-ray here. Says, let's see if I know anymore. It's 4K, or rather it's a 2K resolution presentation of the original theatrical and 1982 complete version, the reissue of the film. So you get both of those taken from a 4K scan. So again, people that might be fans of the genre, that is available. On DVD, it says Mad Max meets The Walking Dead, I Am Toxic on DVD. I Am Toxic. So from MVD Visual. Also from MVD Visual, Higher Ed, Prass, Aries Spears, Hill Harper, Layla Arciera, a Jean-Claude Lamar film. So, Higher Ed on DVD. Don't Go Gentle, a film about idols. Finding strength in vulnerability, journeys through idols, determination, friendship, and adversity as they fight to place in divided socio-political environment. Unexpected, inspiring, unifying international community along the way. So, it looks like a documentary there. MVD Visual Rewind Collection Action USA. So again, always cool to see them give some Blu-ray releases to films that typically would not ever see the light of day. All right. Let's get through these. All right. 30th Anniversary Special Collector's Edition. New digital restoration of Return of the Swamp Thing with Heather Locklear. Is that what it says? Yeah. Heather Locklear. There you go. So Return of the Swamp Thing. Brand 2K restoration here, but unfortunately put on DVD. But again, MVD Visual was a part of that transfer. Let's see, you have Mill of the Stone Women, filmed by Giorgio Ferroni. So another film put out by Arrow Video here. 2-disc limited edition. So again, comes with those extra special features. Need to find space to put everything. All right. This is one that I was also sent. I can't remember if I ever covered this one or not. This is a film starring Christian Bale, Gabriel Byrne, Helen Mirren, and Kate Beckinsale, Royal Deceit. So again, it features an incredibly young Christian Bale and also a very, oh my goodness. Yeah, very young Kate Beckinsale in here. And apparently Andy Serkis is also in this film too. So Royal Deceit is available from MVD Visual. Also 42nd Street, Broadway's biggest show. So another one of those transfers from the show itself. There you go. Major Dundee, available on Blu-ray. So again, this is a special edition set. So you get the theatrical and extended version of Major Dundee. So again, you get tons of special features there. It is a scan of it's a 4K scan done by Sony Pictures actually, but again distributed by Arrow Video. Oh man, that's probably gonna fall. All right, a little bit of a tough one here to say, but that is the title of the film, as you can see. But it features a ton of actors: Keanu Reeves, Thomas Jane, Adrian Brody in the film. So again, tons of people there. You have the Go-Go Boys, the inside story of Canon Films. Interesting. Says documentary about two Israeli-born cousins who in the pursuit of American dream turned the Hollywood power structure upside down, producing over 300 films and becoming very powerful. So again, interesting there. It apparently features archive footage of Sylvester Stallone, Charles Bronson, Chuck Norris. Definitive documentary about Canon Films. Let's see. You have the Sergio Martini collection here. So this features the suspicious death of a minor, Your Vice is Locked Room, and Only I Have the Key, the case of the Scorpion's Tail. So, and again, another special feature set from Arrow Video. Again, Sergio Martino, his collection, 2K restorations of those films. And then another MVD Rewind collection, The Dark, Chilling Terror of Alien Terror. It's a staff pick of the film called The Dark. Again, interesting stuff. And the last of the films I have Threshold here from Arrow Video. When a phone call comes out of the blue, brings Leo back in contact with his sister, Virginia, long estranged from her family due to years of drug abuse. He arrives to find her alone in a bare apartment in the midst of an apparent overdose. Dang. Anyway, you got a Blu-ray transfer of this film on Arrow Video. Also, you have Blind Beast from Yasuzo Masamura. Blind Beast, grotesque portrayal of the bizarre relationship between a blind sculptor and his captive muse. Oh, that sounds terrifying. But that is available on Blu-ray now. You have The Cold War, and this is the last of the sets. But it's The Cold War Creatures, 4 films from Sam Katzman. You have The Giant Claw, Zombies of Moratau, The Werewolf Creature with the Atom Brain, as well as essays. There's a little book on essays and a book on art as well. So again, a massive set here from Arrow Video featuring these films. And it starts off with Zombies, Werewolves, Atomic Mutation, Intergalactic Avians. Let this quartet of classic terrors take you back to the golden age of B-movie monsters. If you're a fan of the B-movie monster genre, Arrow Video got you covered with that set. And those are all of the films that I have been sent over the last month and a half, 2 months. So what are your thoughts about any of those films? Let me know if you watch all the way to the end. I appreciate you very, very much. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Why not? Why not? If you watched all the way to the end, I want you to say the code word in the pinned comment, that I will have. I want you to say the code word, Cat of Nine Tails, or Cat of Nine Tails. Just in the sentence somewhere. Don't just put Cat of Nine Tails. In a sentence, I want you to use Cat of Nine Tails in your comment. And if you do that, you'll be entered in to win a 4K Steelbook edition of Ron. Again, great Kurosawa film. And I will check back on the comments in the next day and then choose a winner. Just be ready to check back on that comment and potentially contact me via email so that way I can get shipping information. But yes, 4K Steelbook giveaway for that. Why not? Because this was a marathon, and I appreciate anyone who actually watched the entirety of it. So please enjoy that if you entered in, and good luck to everyone. If you liked the video, smash that like button, smash the rumble button, light it up on Odyssey as well. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my December Patreon Subscribe Star and Locals members. Animation commentator Brandon, Brian P., Christopher Bowman, Dolores Ed, Dion, Father Christopher Miller, Hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, Hannibal Grimm, Harold Francis, Inflamed Wood, Jacob Juice, Jeff Toon, Joe Horn, Jonathan Carney, Gomer Kyles 79, Laura, The Modern Major General's Story, Mike Jackson ×4, Mitch Dunaway, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody, Mondo Spieler, On to June, Orange Chat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Priscilla Hall, Rosetta Ullen, Stan Andrian, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, and Tina Bojan, and of course, the Empress of the Universe, Tina B. Thank you very much for being my Patreon members. And for my Subscribe Star members, UAB Mad Dog, Mike Jackson, Storm Tracker, The R, Fast Reaction, Nosferatu Gatsu, Stan 4, John B., Mr. Roy, Glinzer, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heiss / the new number 2, J-Rod, the Beer Guru, and ZK-Man. Thank you very much for supporting me on Subscribestar. And to my 4 members over on Locals.com, Kara Tharp, UAB Mad Dog, once again, Mike Jackson, Bifford a Hobbit, and Robert Barnes. Thank you for supporting me on Locals, and if you want to have your name shouted out at the end of every video and live stream, check out the top link in the video description below. It's called Willow, or w.lo, Willow link. It'll bring you to all of my social media platforms and also to all of the various other locations that you can support the channel. You can get access to things like giveaways, where I do giveaways of 4K films, 4K steelbooks, digital codes, all kinds of stuff every single month. Also, there's a level where you get access to all of that, plus an exclusive podcast that I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger, where you also get to ask questions that we will answer on every episode of the podcast. And at the final level, you also have the ability, the Chosen of Valhalla level, you have the ability to have all of that, plus in your first month, get a free t-shirt of your choice, any color, sent anywhere in the world, and also get to be featured once a month on the Chosen of Valhalla live stream featured on the main channel. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the description. You're all amazing and beautiful people. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, God bless.